So a few videos ago I had mentioned that I get out a few times during the week, just a short noon rip. So I thought I'd kind of take you through that. These trails are no longer groomed, maintained, etc. And haven't been for a while. They're still here, people still ride them. They're just minutes away from my office, so for me to kind of get out at lunchtime and rip around is awesome. Especially when days are still sitting at 30 degrees by the time it's about 5. Oh, something in the woods there. These trails were kind of the first groomed mountain bike, single track, cross country, whatever, trails in the Fredericton area. Used to hold races in here. Actually went in a race and I had a cracked tibia and didn't realize it. My leg was super sore, but I went in and had x-rays later on. And yep, it was cracked. So you get kind of a little bit of everything out in this trail. It's some stuff like this, which is more or less green. Then you get into some more technical rocky sections, which I'll get onto later. And yeah, last time I was out here, I did clean up a bunch of those. There were some down trees. I had footage of it, but the camera was very foggy looking. The lens was dirty. I've got cobwebs all across my face. I can feel them blowing on my, like kind of tickling my nose and in my beard. Clean that stuff up. Little bridge coming up here. I'm always a little cautious because it's starting to fall apart. So one of these days it's not going to be here. And hopefully it's not me that takes it out. Just gotta keep your eyes out for hikers and trail runners and stuff out here. Got a co-worker that runs out here quite often. We both typically wear like brighter shirts, but he's looking at the trail and not really what's ahead of him when it comes to like me, but I've always got my eyes out for him. Little washout here. We kind of had a nice break in the heat about the past 3 or 4 days, but I can feel it again today. Supposed to get up to around 28, but I can already feel like the humidity is just brutal right now. Sections like this, it's hard to see anything coming up ahead. Pretty good rocky and rooty section coming up here in just moments. I gotta adjust my shifters. They're too close to my hands. I keep saying that, but I never do it. I don't think of it until I get out here. I'm sure at one point all these trails were named, but I couldn't tell you what they used to be called. I'm just glad that they're still out here and definitely in riding shape too. This is actually a nice spot for winter bike. You know, grab the fat bike and come out. Not groomed, but enough people ride it that it's, I guess, naturally groomed. The main roads are real bad. They're all just full of like post holes and stuff like that from people walking. But you also get a few people out in their snowshoes, which helps a lot. I think the majority of the trails that are around here are somewhat groomed for winter bike. I know MVP is, and Woodlot, Mactaquac. I think Island View is too. That's why you get a membership to your cycling club, I guess. River Valley cycling here helps your dues help with trail maintenance and stuff. Even on the winter bike stuff too. Alright, a little bit of double track coming up, and then double track that kind of narrows into single track and rocky single track. So yeah, just some double track, and as I stated, changes into some rocky stuff. You gotta have this out here, you gotta leave it here, because you never know when you have to battle orcs or something like that, so this has gotta stay out here. Barbarian Horde, you never know when you're going to need a sword out here. This was a regular riding spot for me back in the mid to late 90s. As I'm sure I've said in other videos, kind of got out of riding for a while, but I'm back into it and loving it. With the cooler temperatures, I'm really hoping to get back out onto my backyard trails and get those cleaned up. And actually started building some stuff out at our camp at a lake close by. So hopefully get some documentation of that. I'm going to be on vacation in a couple of weeks, and that's where I'm going. So I'm kind of interested to see what I can get done. And just up here, I think we start the single track stuff. It's so narrow right here. I'm sure you can tell by the fact that my hands are getting smacked. Now we're gonna start seeing the terrain change a bit. More rocky stuff. Somebody recently asked me on Facebook a tip for a new rider. I would say a big one is keep your eyes ahead of you. Try and find that line. Keep glancing ahead of you, back. Eventually it'll just come second nature. Ooh, little droppy. Just banged the inside of my knee on my bike. That felt good. Oh, a little bit of shite. Another thing I noticed that I do without really thinking about it, kind of noticed it though, is rocky sections. Little turns in the pedals back and forth just to kind of get the pedals above any sort of rocks that are coming up. Little quarter turns, etc. Forward and reverse. And because these are usually quick rides, I usually don't bring water out, but I kind of wish I did today. Oh well. Just when you think the rocks are all done, they are not. Continue straight. I'm gonna pop up this way to a little downhill. Just gonna finish it up here on this little downhill, and then kind of just go through the stuff I already came up through. This gets a bit rocky as we go. And it's hard to see with the shadows like that. Sounds like something caught in my wheel or something. I think I got a flat tire. Yep. So that ride didn't end up finishing like I was hoping. I ended up actually destroying the back tire completely. I had to get it replaced. Couldn't get it to seal. I tried, took it to the bike shop. They tried. Just ended up replacing the back tire. Usually those rides take about 40-45 minutes. That one took a little bit longer. Luckily I was almost finished, so I ended up having to just walk it back out of the woods. It wasn't anything major, but hey, here I am out at the lake, and I've kind of gotten started on building some new trails. I'm going to be documenting those coming up, and as I said earlier in the video, I'm going to be out here on vacation here next week. I'm going to work on this as much as I can, weather permitting. So with that, keep your stick on the ice and don't pull your goalie.